Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Make Art with Mrs. M. So, I have drawn a cactus in a pot, and this video was requested by a friend. So, here we go. Oil pastels. I like oil pastels for their rich texture, how smoothly they go across the paper, the rich, thick color, the waxiness of them. I also pair them with crayons. It's been my experience, and I'm going to talk while I'm coloring. It's been my experience that oil pastels tend to get really crumbly if I color and apply too much pressure on the sticks of oil pastel themselves. So what I like to do is apply with moderate pressure a layer of oil pastel and then smooth it out with a crayon of the same color or similar color. So let me go ahead and color this whole cactus. I think what's going to make this even more exciting is that it is going to be so smooth. Like none of the white spots are going to show. None of the white areas. Like sometimes when we color with crayons, if you're not using a lot of pressure, you can still see the whiteness of the paper come through. So I'm going to bring this, I'll zoom this in a little bit, zoom. So you can still see the paper a little bit. It's okay at this point for that to be the case. Now I drew this with a Sharpie, I didn't use pencil at all. Sometimes coloring with oil pastel after you've erased pencil lines will leave a groove in the paper, leave an indenture, and sometimes you really have to scrub to get the pigment from the oil pastel down in that little groove that you've made. I'm going to go in and do a little dark green around where the overlapping occurs. So this part of the cactus is behind this one, so I'm going to add a little green area there. I'm going to do that wherever there's some overlapping. The little part of the cactus that's behind is going to get a little bit of green there. I'm even going to do it where it connects right here and here and then behind here. This gives a more 3D effect with the shading. So let me see. Okay. All right. Now let me find some crayons, similar crayons, a dark green crayon, a light green crayon. Okay, so what I do is I take the crayon and I color on top of the oil pastel. So I want you to watch what starts to happen. The white begins to disappear. The white areas begin to disappear. And I'm not even really coloring. I'm just using this to rub in. So the wax of the crayon and the wax of the oil pastel are great partners in creating a really smooth look, a smooth finish to your artwork. So I use light green right there, and I'm holding on to the dark green. I'm going to switch and use that on this area to create the shadowed side. So I'm creating like the area that might have a shadow on it. And I have smoothed it out really good. Yes. So then I don't get this, the crayon might get a little bit of the wax from the oil pastel on there, but there's not a bunch of crumbles on my paper from the oil pastel itself. So I zoom in and you look closely and see all those white spaces are gone. Okay, I'll keep going. And I'm just rubbing this in. So I'm using the crayon as a tool to smooth out my oil pastels. And it just looks so much better to me. I mean, even with this light green, I could even possibly use some yellow. Yes, I could possibly use some yellow because, you know, this is a yellow green. I could use yellow in here if I wanted to, like, create a different effect. And so it's almost like painting. I'm like mixing colors. Mixing colors, and it gives a very, very good effect. So I'm going to put a little yellow here on the top edge of these. And it makes the yellow green even lighter and more yellowish. Cool, right? I might have to peel this a little bit because I'm really wearing it down. Crayons are one of my favorite media to use, even as an adult. Something about a crayon just makes me happy. So crayons and oil pastels is a good mix. So I'm starting to get a few crumbs on here, but I'm not going to swipe it away with my hand. But I'm going to guarantee you it's not as many little crumbly pieces and bits as you would get if you were just using oil pastels by themselves and rubbing this hard. I'm really applying some pressure. I'm really scrubbing across the surface of the paper to make the white areas go away. And I'm just pushing these oil pastels around on the page. And you can tell the difference. This last part here, compared to all the others, you can see where it still has a little white showing, and these don't. I think I'm going to use my green crayon, the dark regular green, just green itself with this section, this part of the cactus. Look at that. Wonderful. So I'm going to pause my camera and come back and show you what it looks like when I'm all done with this. Like, I've created this little frame around it, so I'll do the pot and maybe I'll show some of that. Let's see. Yes, I will. So the pot, okay, it's going to be terracotta. So I don't have terracotta. I'm going to use brown and orange to give the terracotta-ish effect. And I mean, this is oil pastel. I'm just going to apply the color on there. I want it to look a little rustic. So I'm not even going to color really hard with the brown. So I can create that color, that orangish, brownish terracotta color. These oil pastels have been around for a while, and it doesn't matter that they're a little dirty on the outside. It doesn't seem to affect the artwork much, but look at me using my left hand. By any means necessary, let's make this art. It doesn't seem to affect to have those other colors in there, but you could always take a tissue and wipe off the outer part if the wrapper is gone. These have been used by students for years, so they've been through it. I'll put brown here on the inside. I was going to pause the video, but now I don't know. Let's see. I need brown. This is the only brown I can find right now. I think I'm going to use like red, orange, and brown for this. Yes, red, orange, and brown for the terracotta pot. Yes. So I press down with the brown and smooth it out. Look, and I just push that oil pastel around. I just push it around. I'm not being a bully, I'm just being assertive, right? And same thing here. The crayon mixes with the oil pastel and wonderful things happen, and it's just very, 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 very smooth. And all the white spaces go away. And I love this effect of the brown mixed with the orange. And now I'm using a red orange crayon to just blend and smooth out. Look at that. That looks like a pot that's on my back patio right now. It does. It gets weathered. It gets dust, and it changes from a nice smooth terracotta color to a mottled color. Mottled. Look at that. I'm so happy with this right now. Okay, let me pause and come back so this video is not too long. All right, I'm back. We're back. And the flower pot is done. Isn't that amazing? That looks so authentic. I did grab a tissue because my crayon was getting really gross with the extra pieces of oil pastel that were coming up off of the paper from me. Do you hear that? From where I was just really rubbing and scrubbing hard. All right, so you might not always have a tissue available, but I'm just going to just pick up those pieces, gently brush the extra pieces away. Yes, so I don't smear it across my white paper. I still want my work to be neat. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm going to stop now and do the background color. And I'm thinking pink because I think purple might be too much. But then again, purple might go because green and orange are secondary colors and purple is a secondary color. You'll just have to see what I decide. Hold, please. All right, here we go. So I couldn't decide, so I used both. I made the ombre effect here of the purple and pink together. So I'm going to, I found a purple crayon, no wrapper. I don't know how this happens around here. This is like a brand new crayon. And I have pink, but then I also have this violet red that I think will be a good match for the pink in some areas to give a better effect. So I always try to think about how colors are related, and I love how the secondary colors of the green, orange, and purple work together, but then I also like the play of the pink with the green because red and green are complementary colors, and by using the pink it's like a version of red, and I feel it just offsets the green really nicely. So again, you take that crayon and push that oil pastel around and you're going to see the magic happen. And it's wonderful, and it just goes, everything is so smooth and the white areas just disappear. And so the color is just rich and wonderful. I just like this. I just really like oil pastels. And I like the smell. I like the smell. It just takes me back to simpler days. It does. Crayons are for everyone. I don't think there should be an age limit on crayons. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to switch to this red violet and see how I like it. Try it a little on the side right here. Yes, and I bring some down into this purple area. And right here where I'm creating that ombre effect for blending these two colors together, the purple and the pink, I'm using this darker, I like it. I think it looks really good with this pink, so I'm just going to keep going with it. Will I use this? Let's see. I like both of them. Maybe I'll just alternate. So I just push the color. All right. Again, I'm going to pause so the video's not so long. Oops, a piece of crayon broke off. Okay, I'm back. So now that I'm done, I'm really done now. I think it looks wonderful. I'm going to carefully pick it up, give it a little tap to remove the excess pieces, and then I can just wipe that up off of my area with my tissue and clean off my desk or table area. And voila! I think that is just a masterpiece. Oil pastels are fun, and I hope you give this a try with whatever you might draw. You might get oil pastels sometimes in one of those box sets that you get for Christmas that has the oil pastels, crayons, marker, and maybe paints inside. The oil pastels sometimes are a little misunderstood, but sometimes they need their buddy, their partner, Mr. and Mrs. Crayon, to make the whole thing work out smoothly. Smooth it out. It's beautiful. It's better with a little bit of crayon with your oil pastels. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be making more. So come back and see me another time when we'll make more cool stuff. Remember, art makes you smart. Join me again someday.